Our next guest, Congressman Adam Schiff, led the first impeachment trial of Donald Trump for seeking foreign interference in the 2020 election to harm the candidacy of Joe Biden.
In 2016, he invited foreign interference in our election. On the day after that tragic chapter appeared to come to an end with Bob Mueller's testimony, Donald Trump was back on the phone, this time with another foreign power, Ukraine, and once again seeking foreign help with his election.
Joining us now is Congressman Adam Schiff, California. He is chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Chairman. And as Rachel and I were discussing at the beginning of this hour, we were wondering what you knew and when you knew it about Konstantin Kilimnik passing information to Russian intelligence services.
Well, Lawrence, as you pointed out, the chain here is the Trump campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, and his deputy chairman are giving polling data and strategic information about their strategy in the Midwest to Kilimnik, who the deputy chairman acknowledges they knew was a spy or they believed was a spy. And in fact, as the Treasury Department has acknowledged, was a spy and was providing this to Russian intelligence, and not just Russian intelligence, but the same services that are involved in trying to help Trump win in that election. That's what most people would call collusion. And I don't know how the no collusion crowd explains that. So in terms of when did we know this, we certainly knew for a long time that the Trump campaign was giving internal polling data and strategic information to someone linked to Russian intelligence. But this goes further and says that this was an intelligence agent. That was the Senate Intelligence Committee's bipartisan conclusion. And now we know that this information got back to these intelligence agencies. So pretty direct chain here.
Can you tell us if this is newly developed information developed during the Biden administration, or whether this was known within the intelligence community during the Trump administration?
You know, that's a good question. We certainly knew that there were links between Kilimnik and Russian intelligence. But this statement by Treasury goes further than anything I've seen the intelligence community relate so far. Now, it may very well be that the agencies had reached this conclusion before, and I don't know whether that was shared or not shared, but it's the first time that I'm seeing it in print, and certainly the first time it's being made public.
What else do you think we might end up learning? In what areas might we end up learning new things about 2016 or 2020 elections?
Well, you know, I think we'll continue to learn more, and this is frequently the case with the intelligence process, and that is you may learn about past events when you get new information, when you get new data, because it's historic data. It's not data about the present. So hard to tell. But I think as we're seeing now with this additional information about Manafort, that either Mueller had the information but was trying to protect sources and methods, or this is truly new information that came about either during the Trump administration or during the Biden administration. And I'm not clear exactly when that point was.
What is your reaction to the sanctions as they were issued today?
Very powerful. It will definitely put a crimp in the Russian economy. And it's the kind of sanction that the Biden administration can turn the screws on. So they have the flexibility to really clamp down further if the Russians escalate or continue to engage in this kind of malign conduct, this kind of election interference, so this kind of cyber hacking or attacking. I like the fact that they're going after these Russian private companies that are aiding in these destructive hacks, and that they're going after individuals that have culpability in terms of Russia's illegal occupation of Crimea. So it's pretty dramatic, I have to say. When I saw them, I thought, thank God we have a president again who's willing to stand up to Vladimir Putin.
And what do you think that means in terms of our relations with Russia now that Vladimir Putin understands clearly, as of today, more vividly than before even, the difference between dealing with a Trump presidency and a Biden presidency?
Well, first off, he knows he's not going to manipulate this president simply by flattering him, praising him in some way. that he has to fear this president. This president is willing to follow through. These are not hollow words that the president is taking action. But at the same time, I think the administration is being very smart and being very open and saying, look, we're willing to meet with you. We're willing to sit down with you. We're willing to find common ground on things like the limitation of nuclear arms. But you engage in this other stuff, and we're going to come after you, and we're not fooling around. And that's, I think, the way you need to treat the Russians, which is don't take them by surprise. Tell them what you're going to do. And if they cross the line, you got to make sure you do it.
And what other devices, techniques, strategies does the administration have beyond sanctions if there's more to respond to?
I think the most powerful thing, and sanctions, truly have their limits, and we found out just how limited ultimately the impact of sanctions can be. But what this administration can do is rebuild our international alliances, rebuild a multinational strategy when it comes to constraining bad actors like Russia. We can strengthen the international institutions that have atrophied over the last 4 years that give teeth to the rule of law and the rule and the rule of the road. And so building those international partnerships, frankly, is something that terrifies the Russians. But more than that, it also terrifies the Chinese. China has been really able to exploit the fact that traditional allies of ours have been alienated from us. But that's not going to be the case anymore.
Chairman Adam Schiff, thank you very much for joining us again tonight. We really appreciate it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.